fit.
Which one of those gives them the most flexibility in coming to the fore with work and then stepping back and not being as busy? Because their schedule is brutal.
I think
They're very willing to serve, but they need to sort of be able to modulate it.
Right. I feel like that's the strategic planning committee, because most of that work can happen. Okay, we've got this idea, we want to explore it. You know, that can just be a phone call. What do you think about this?
Okay.
And if you're not on the strategic planning committee, can you still bring ideas to the table?
Oh, sure.
If you
Yeah.
happen to have one.
Yeah.
It's
Of
an
course.
important point.
Joanna, tell me your last name.
Make it Pollock.
Pollock.
I've been wondering
It
about
goes
this.
back and forth. Actually, I've been going by Pollock for quite some time, but I applied to the university, you know, and I went with person because GRE had me as person, and so now I'm known as person around campus, and then, you know, it's kind of like spreading throughout the Facebook community. So
For a while I
it's
thought
like I'm changing my name back to my maiden name.
For a while I thought I was dealing with two Joannas, because in my phone I had stored.
There's at least two.
I'm really absent-minded, so like I had stored Joanna Person in my phone, but the first email I got from you had Joanna Pollock, and that's what I kept going back to remember who you were, and I was like, no, who's?
This is Joanna Person.
But,
Anyway, it's me, Joanna.
what about for the fundraising committee? I mean, well, let's stay on the executive committee so far. I mean, for the youth, I'd like to bring in maybe John Bain. But really, the person I really like is Derek Lynn.
Maybe John, but you really like Derek Lynn.
I think John's going to be pretty busy, and I'm not sure that Derek will be. And there are quite a few other people on campus that could be involved in something like this. What about from the rest of the state?
Okay, yeah. So what are we going to be asking from the people who are from out of town then? You know, 'cause this might mean that we would have to figure out a way to do, like, if there were a decision that we were asking this group to make, we might have to set up a phone conference with them. And make sure they were included in e-lists and stuff like that.
Right.
But would we be asking them to be around for the meetings and?
I don't think so, not physically, but we would be asking them to review recommendations of the other committees. We'd be asking them to review the minutes and agendas, and to make apparent in one way or another what their take on things and their recommendation would be.
I know someone in Little Rock that I used to.
Who's that?
Her name is Michelle Frost. She's just moved there from Austin. She's got a lot of administrative skill, and she's conscious. And
It's good to get people from the first move and have
yeah,
it easy.
I think she would be. I think she would take it seriously, and she would be. You know, she would consider it an honor if I talked to her about it. And
Okay.
so anyway, she's a
Cool.
possibility, and she's in Little Rock.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I met some people at the Citizens First Congress that would be really good.
Do you have any suggestions from that?
Yes, I don't remember them by names. The woman who was
Oh,
in charge of the Delta E team.
Charlene. Is it Charlene?
She has short hair.
Yeah, real bouncy.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I think it's Charlene.
Maybe her.
What if we say Charlene from CFC and then we're going to look her up?
Okay.
She was from Monshire.
I think that's right.
We're still talking about possibilities for the executive committee.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like here. Then we change that to executive. So far.
Okay.
So what do you want to sit in, Aubrey?
Well, I would love to be one of those. I'll remember that.
Cool.
I do be that.
Do you think it would be appropriate to send out a message to the OMNI membership and tell them we're doing this and ask who's interested. And then, or do you think it would be best just to see who wants to volunteer and let the decision happen like that? Because I'm wondering if we have 5 or 6 members when they find out about this, you know, that really want to do it. How are we going to make that decision?
Well, you know, I mean,
It is a good
Have you got Art back involved
Since Robert left?
Robert left? Or?
No, I have talked with Art about it, and his position is, I'm way too busy with the work of the commission right now to do much.
you know, I think it seems to me like the Carbon Caps Task Force, there are a lot of them who have not really been active, and if we have the steering committee from people who actually have a tendency to show up and it's already demonstrated some commitment, maybe you know, other OMNI members, we could plug them into some of those other committees, but not necessarily include them in the steering committee until we've actually identified the ones who really are willing to commit to it.
Do you have a list of how many people who've actually participated at one point or another? I mean, the committee, that was the original group fighting with
Yeah, I do
with
kind
the
of, but I
state.
didn't bring that.
But you do know all
Yeah.
the ones.
It's a good point. How many are there, do you suppose?
Well, you know, there's probably
Quite a
60
few.
on that list, and I decided I'm not going to just put them all in I'm not going to send all the emails out so they show, because it takes up, you know, it's way too long a list. So I'm going to put everybody except the ones who normally come in the line.
MCC.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Well, I think we've got a good list to start from, and hopefully each of these people can commit to being at the meetings and stuff when we contact the out-of-state people and the youth. Is it something you think you want to do, Joanna?
Contacting them?
No. Being involved in the executive committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but I don't want to. I mean, this is my very first meeting. I'm not even really sure what the task force is trying to take on
Right.
and do. And I don't want to offend anybody that's been coming regularly, you know.
Yeah, it's okay. They won't be offended.
Right.
I promise you, they won't be offended.
Okay, well, on the fundraising committee, who do we think should be on that? I think Dick would be a good person to put on that, or maybe Dick should be on the strategic planning committee. I think we should limit, you know, if somebody's on more than one committee, that's okay, but I think we should avoid it when expedient.
I do think they'd be good on strategic planning committee. Fundraising committees are always difficult.
Part of what the fundraising committee is going to do, and this isn't really apparent from the name, they're going to decide, they're going to advise the strategic planning committee a lot and back and forth on what are some of the best ways to raise money and what actions are some of the best ways to do that.
So they will advise. Okay. Will they also make calls of
Yes.
solicitation?
They'll also,
times or
yeah.
meetings or, yeah.
But it would be really useful if they could do a little bit, if they could at least think in terms of grant writing when that was appropriate, because there might be some that would be useful.
Well, fundraising is a difficult thing for most people to ask people for money for anything. You know?
So you're thinking the fundraising committee, it would be kind of like watching for the opportunities and thinking of the options. That the whole CCTF would actually be operating as the fundraising, as part of the fundraising process.
Yes, as directed by the fundraising committee.
Okay.
You know, like the fundraising committee might say, okay, we have a list of 300 people who are good candidates to be donors. We're going to pull the rest of the task force in to do some phone banking.
Yeah, right. Well, see, I was thinking that that Karen Takamoto, the OMNI treasurer, she thinks of the grants a lot, and she probably would not want to come on that committee without, she might come on to like watch for grants for us. That she wouldn't necessarily want to be pulled in for everything.
Right.
But if we could say, would you do this for us, and include her in the fundraising committee for that?
Maybe she'd be good as a grant watcher.
Grant watcher.
Is Ralph Nesson a member of OMNI?
No, I don't think he is.
He'd be really good.
I'll call him though. I'll ask him if he'd like. I'll ask him if he's interested in participating on the fundraising committee.
Yes, please.
Because he's the man. I mean, he and Keith Byer are the people that I know that write great grants and
He's
help
told
other
me
people too.
one time that he would do board training for us.
He's
So,
great at it.
Yeah.
I've been involved in training that he did
yeah.
at one time for another organization.
Okay.
He's really good. He knows a lot.
If either one of us had time to do that, but that
I'll
was
call
something.
Ralph about, I mean,
Okay.
Ralph may be in Spain for all I know. He goes there a lot. But I'll see if he's interested.
Gosh, I thought he was a South.
He is.
That little guy.
He is.
Towards Spain.
Well, he's saved money for a long time on his
So he
beautiful
do
work
things
that he does with Single Parent Scholarship of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's been active.
He's a real activist in his own right.
You call Karen a grant what? Seeker?
Watcher, you know.
Grant watcher, yeah.
And if Ralph's not interested, maybe he'll have someone else.
Somebody who's, for whom environmental issues are, something of importance.
So that's 2 ideas. Anyone else have a suggestion?
I would send that committee to, I think it's okay.
Okay.
If Ralph wants more information, then I'm able to give him Gladys about things that he'd be doing.
So one, me and Matt, either one, I think.
Can I ask him to call you?
Okay, I think that's a good start. I don't think we're going to fill these up within 2 or 3 weeks either, so.
I don't know.
What about Donna? Does Donna come?
She hates meetings.
Oh.
She does not like sitting through meetings.
She's really good at work parties.
Yeah.
She's an energy source.
Energy source, right.
Okay, the strategic planning to me is kind of the most important committee to help give us some direction and make some of the decisions about this is the best use of our money, or these events are coming up, we can participate in these events but not these other events, or that kind of thing. And making some of those recommendations. This is a committee I'll probably be the most involved with. But I'll be involved with all of this chair. Who should we recommend for the to help us plan strategy?
Well, I've got Kelly down already. And then you suggested Jack, and that would probably be a good one. And I wonder if this might not be someplace that, would Derek Lynn go on that committee? I mean, so we asked Derek and John,
Possibilities for the executive.
Yeah. If one of them be on the executive committee and the other be on the strategic planning committee.
That might be good. I think we definitely need some youth representation on the strategic planning side. When we're planning on involving them more.
trying to remember the name of the lady who's, she brought bread in to a meeting.
Was it Linda Farrell?
It's the woman who's married to the tall man and they
Oh,
sing together.
Karen.
Karen.
Aubrey.
And their bike
Yeah.
advocates. I just wondered.
Laura and Dan.
Laura, yeah,
Laura and Dan, would she be, has she shown any interest?
When I've talked to her, she's shown a little bit.
She's
there's
very
potential
sharp.
there.
I know she's also a mom, and she's a busy woman, but she seems to have some good energy.
And she might be good for that. Dan might be good for that too.
Could they be asked to serve together, and then one person could come? I'm doing that stupid. All right, forget it.
That's what makes it easier.
I'll be left.
Okay.
Anybody else, Gladys, who's been active in the past, is kind of not involved so much now?
What about Jamie Ulick?
Jamie would be good. You know, he's just said no to almost everything since they bought that business.
Really?
Not sure that he feel like he had time.
Otherwise, we could just hitch up the whole thing to Jamie and he'd
You're right. Wouldn't it drop that?
It's amazing.
But, should we go on with direct action?
All right.
Yeah. But, you know, when we talk to each of these people, we should make sure and ask them if they have ideas for other people, especially if they're trying to stand.
Yes, true. And I find myself wishing we had that list of 60 or 50 or 60 original participants.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could be revisited.
You never know if some of them would just jump on it if they're asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Some people really need to be invited.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, like Linda Farrell, who comes periodically, and Malcolm
Cleveland.
who came a few times, and
There was that really an interesting, intelligent man from the university who came originally, and
Dick Bennett?
some other guy. He's with the university and he's in some scientific.
I think that was Malcolm.
Was that Malcolm?
Mhm.
Is he an engineer or I forget?
No, he is a geologist or something.
Oh, that's...
Close to
He's
geology.
related to that. Yeah, that's right. I thought he'd just be excellent. Did he actually not get engaged in it?
no, I think he was busy, and I think, you know, he came to the meetings, but he didn't have a specific job to do. And I wonder if we had a job for him, if he would not be the chair of that committee or something, you know. But I mean, I think the committee itself probably needs to decide that. But I think if he were coming for a reason, I think he'd be a lot more likely to get engaged.
And he'd be a good person for strategy.
Oh, maybe.
Does that sustainability executive from U of A come to the task force meeting?
No.
Never been to anything from him,
No.
Which one are we talking about now? Who are we counting?
Nick.
Nick Brown?
Nick Brown. Nick Brown might be willing to get involved. Maybe. He's way more focused on campus action. He's got his hands pretty full with that. He might be willing.
Well, you know, it seems to me like people who we know are really busy and are really, this is their interest, but they're not working with us. If we set up something where we actually need their help and ask them to do something with us, we take the opportunity to help them engage with us.
Right.
And then at the same time, let them see what's available to do. That's a really good suggestion.
Now, what you just said is different from an advisory committee, but an advisory committee is another way that you can connect with people.
That's right.
An advisory committee can be asked to weigh in about different things as a sort of entree to further development. Although what you're describing is a little more consciously engaged.
We were thinking about it, setting up an advisory committee at a later date when there's an official capacity. Well, on the Direct Action Committee, who were the ideas for that? I think that's a good choice for John Bain. And I know several other people on campus, OID plus others, that are interested in getting some things done like that.
I'd like to be involved in direct action.
Okay.
Music.
And, you know, I mean, I wonder if Donna might be interested in direct action
Yeah.
more than strategic planning. And I wonder if Dan and Laura might not be more interested in direct action than strategic planning too.
I think you're probably
I
right.
think you're right.
It's going to be hard to get Dan and Laura to booth at events, though. Them usually doing the BCO thing.
Oh.
But something to think about.
Yeah, right.
Does Courtney Montgomery come to the meetings?
I don't know who Courtney Montgomery is.
Really? Well, she's a new acquaintance of mine who goes to the Unitarian Church, and she has expressed interest to me in the few times that we've interacted with each other about coming to these meetings, to the task force meetings.
Oh, really?
So I thought she knew more about it than I did. I thought she'd been coming or something, you know. But anyway, I'll encourage her.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pass, if you tell her to get in contact with us or something,
Yeah.
we can describe a little bit more where she might be able to fit in.
Okay.
How would she be getting in contact?
Well, I mean,
One little step there.
Yeah.
Give her something. Definitely.
If she can call me or email me, we
Okay.
have that info.
Okay.
So you have his number?
Mhm.
All right, we're all set.
Okay, so maybe the next step is, on the restructuring is to call these people and set, a formational meeting or something with each of the committees, and we can do that within the next month, and try to set a time a month out or so for the executive committee to come together. Anything else on the restructuring we think we can do at this meeting? Okay, let's get on to some of the cool stuff. For a while we've been talking about getting planet work coordinators moving throughout the state. Planet work, Joanna, is People's Legislative Action Network. And so it's this list we're putting together to send out legislative alerts for when climate change policies hit the floor in 2009. And we've talked about getting coordinators all across the state to help us add people to the list because it's not going to be effective if we just stick with Northwest Arkansas.
I talked to your friend Michelle about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, here's a brochure.
Here's a couple.
And so Gladys and I have been working off and on putting together a toolkit for them, something that describes what it is, how to talk to people about it, and that sort of thing. And I think we've made some progress, maybe not a whole lot of progress. Gladys has done a lot of work in getting the introductory stuff in place. I feel like the next step for us is to do things like create phone scripts. You know, like if you're calling a church, here's a phone script. If you're calling a representative, here's a phone script. If you're calling president of a union, here's a phone script, that sort of thing. And I had also had the idea that if we're going to have these people out throughout the rest of the state working on this kind of stuff, we shouldn't just limit it to a legislative alert network. Maybe we would want to have these people able to talk about no coal petitions, or able to talk about green jobs actions that are coming up, or that sort of thing. So instead of just asking people to sign up for this list, there can be something with a little more substance there at the same time. And so we've been putting together a few things on that. Power Vote is one campaign that I think we want to stick in there, and that is a project of a young people's group called the Energy Action Coalition. And what they're doing with Power Vote is creating a list of 1 million young people to give to the candidates to show them we're ready to build the green economy. We're not just asking for it, we're ready to help out.
Thanks.
And it's been going really well on the U of A campus, but I don't think it's going on anywhere else in Arkansas. So this is something that we can reach out with. And so we want to add that, and then I have a few other petitions and information and fact sheet stuff on green collar jobs and that sort of thing that I think should go into the toolkit.
I have a thought on that. You may be ahead of me on this, and already have considered it. I get different calls, and I find that, depending on the day, I'm willing to hear one thing, but not more.
Right.
So, first of all, giving people an option. Would you like to hear about some of the other things that we're engaged in? Seems important. Giving them a choice so that the centerpiece may still be to present the planet work. And the other would be giving people an option to receive an email form of what else we'd like to share, maybe, if they weren't interested in hearing about things verbally on the phone.
That's great.
A second line of choice.
Right.
Because, I mean, by the end of the day, oftentimes people are just,
You feel inundated.
make it simple, okay?
Right.
Let's get the hell off the phone.
I think that's a really good point, and as we write the phone scripts, I'm glad you brought that up, because I wasn't ahead of you on that. I think that would be, that's perfect. We need to write the phone scripts to introduce what they're doing, and then give a way to follow up.
Yeah, a way to follow up and an email backup.
Right.
Okay.
I think the phone scripts we need to emphasize it's just an introduction.
Yeah. Is there a way that the phone scripts could include an invitation for somebody who seems interested to take up uneven, several steps of involvement that could be explored, and it may be premature in many cases.
No, I think that's the right way to do it. Whenever I do stuff for my own nonprofits, I do things in very step fashion in my outreach. Right. So I introduce a coalition or something like that, and I say, this is how it's relevant to you, and I say, so here are your steps for helping out and taking action. Number 1, join this coalition, be a part of the signatory. Number 2, go to our website and read our mission, Number 3, come to this event, or participate in this meeting, or things like that.
Exactly. A series of steps, and then even some inner circle, more constant, inner parts of more involved.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And I think doing this is going to be a lot easier once the OMNI website starts coalescing a little more. Any other input on the toolkit? We all think this is a good idea, something that's necessary to make Planet Work successful.
Oh yes, it will definitely empower we who are making calls.
Okay, so the toolkit, can you explain it one more time, please?
Sure, it's the toolkit would just be a packet of documents for a potential coordinator, and it would have things like, first off, it's an introduction for them, but then also, here's how you introduce the message, or here's a sample meeting agenda, or here are these phone scripts for these groups, here are these projects, here's how you talk about it, here's a way to bring people together and talk in front of a group, and here's your sample notes, something
That's great.
Yeah, they can take it and make it their own, but they don't have to create it all,
Okay, I just had this thought about it, because I was thinking about what Jeff said about inundating, and so I'm imagining that you're calling your friend Michelle and saying, we're planning on doing this, would you like to help with this? would you think about being a coordinator for this project? So then, if we then send her the document that I would have to send her, if I was sending this email to her, it would have 10 attachments to it. And I wonder if instead we could have a place on the email site where we could say to Michelle, would you consider being a coordinator? And if she says, oh, maybe, what do I have to do? You say, go to the website and there's a coordinator site here, and then the documents are all there, so we don't have to send her that email that's so big she's never going to read it.
Right. I think that's the
Or
right
just
way
get
to
like
do
really
it.
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's like,
right.
this is here, this kind of help is here for
Yeah.
this issue if you need it, if you want it.
Yeah.
You need a step-by-step for the coordinators as well.
Yeah.
Here's how you get involved.
Yeah, step by step for
Right.
coordinators. Yeah.
You know, I was with the toolkit, I was just thinking of its use for somebody like me who doesn't want to be a coordinator but wants to work under a coordinator and make calls. That'll be
Right.
funneled
It could all
down,
be
right?
there,
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
yeah.
The Power Vote toolkit is it's amazing, and they're on a timeline. You know, they're only working until November 4th, so they've got 10 weeks in most school systems, and so every week has these are your goals, these are your this is when you're going to hold the meeting, this is when you're just going to get together and become acquainted, this is when you're doing phone banking, you know, et cetera, et cetera. We probably won't get quite that involved, but.
I think the whole kit though is good for somebody who is already committed to being a coordinator.
Right.
Like they know this is what they want to do.
It's not just for them, it's going to be for everything they're doing. And like you say, whenever they go out, they're going to be distributing and making copies of those phone scripts and things like that.
Thank you.
Sure. We'll show the PSA, since that's kind of part of the
Oh,
toolkit.
boy.
We finally get to see it.
There is a PSA?
Yes.
I'm so curious. How is it? Where is she?
She's in Houston working with nice people and making some money and
Making some
building
money.
up some money from
That's
almost being
pretty
bankrupt.
Yeah,
And it's in
I sure
very
easier to
good
stand over here. It's only 90 seconds long or 60
Can
seconds long.
everybody see it just fine?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
Oh, wait. I gotta turn on the sound.
Who is this person?
Isn't he cute? He's adorable.
Yeah. Nice.
My favorite place? Definitely the trees.
Canoeing in Arkansas, dream come true.
It's the best state in the country for retirement. So beautiful in Arkansas.
Every year I look forward to the best duck hunting in the world. Right here in Arkansas. Global warming
What are
gonna
the
change
best are?
Arkansas.
I don't want global warming to hurt the trees. What can we do to keep Arkansas beautiful?
Here's what you can do to keep Arkansas beautiful. Support the Governor's Commission on Global Warming.
It,
Nice.
I want to see it again.
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple
My
times.
favorite place? Definitely the trees.
Canoeing in Arkansas, dream come true.
It's the best state in the country for retirement. So beautiful in Arkansas.
Every year I look forward to the best duck hunting in the world. Right here in Arkansas. Is global warming gonna change Arkansas?
I don't want global warming to hurt the trees. What can we do to keep Arkansas beautiful?
Here's what you can do to keep Arkansas beautiful. Support the Governor's Commission on Global Warming.
Good. Does planetwork.org work now?
It does.
Is that, have these been sent out? Have these been sent out to any stations?
No,
No.
that's what we need to talk about right now.
I want to say that I'm almost resistant to saying it because everything is ready to roll out. But I would have loved to have heard support the Governor's Commission on Global Warming and then in words out loud by going to PlanetWork, www.planetwork.org. My attention was a little split right there. And
Too late now?
yeah, I know. That was the problem. Then it was over, and I focused on the PlanetWork, but I would have liked to have heard that underlined by a vocal message there.
Yeah, I would have. I think, that what she told me was that she had two goals. She wanted it had to be beautiful, and it had to fit into 90, whatever that was, 30 seconds. I think it's 30 seconds, actually. and not seem rushed, and,
Smart.
yeah,
It
I
doesn't
think
seem
too.
rushed.
Yeah, it didn't seem rushed, but I think that, that it would have been nice to kind of say,
Right.
yeah.
Let's go on from here.
Well, I do think that if we're going to keep using this, especially through the legislative session, we're going to need to change the ending. Because we're not going to have a governor's commission on global warming
Oh, right.
anymore.
Yeah, we will. It will have to be changed. That's right. So maybe we can decide that then.
Right.
But this is the original, Jeff.
Okay.
You handling that? And,
I'll get them to make 2 copies, I think.
So you
Right
just have
away
one
for
copy
those.
right now?
That's the only one we got.
Plus Matt has a
I
good copy.
have a copy here, but I wasn't able to burn it. And we need a second copy for the archives anyway.
I think I'll get two copies of this for us.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I
should be
can
nice.
copy them too when you get,
Oh,
so.
good.
Oh, okay.
Can you copy them in different formats? That's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm taking them to be copied in a variety of
what
formats,
format?
but, well, they're different ones, and I didn't bring
Yeah,
the names,
So
but
is this
there's,
in regular,
this is a DVD.
this is a DVD in regular,
In regular, just DVD. Some
Yeah.
stations
Try to
want
say-
that.
okay.
Some stations want beta something. Some
Really?
stations want the other thing. I can get all these formats except for one, which I may be able to get at channel 4029.
Okay. Do you remember what that one was?
It might be DVD.pro.
Oh.
There's 2, in fact, of that.
I think with this, it's probably going to be best if we have, with so many different formats, we just need a professional shop to
I'm taking
crank
them
them
out
out.
there.
Yeah, definitely. And we have about $350 that's been donated for the copies and the mailings.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
good. Well, how about this? I'll pay for the copying, and then we can talk about reimbursement later on.
All right. Okay.
But Matt, did you put it into a MP3 or any, whatever you use?
No, my copy on the hard drive is a straight image of the disc. So it's bit for bit exactly the same.
Wonderful.
But you could convert it so we download it on.
And I'll be working on that. I'd like to launch with the PSA available on the OMNI website when we launch it.
Oh, cool.
So I'll prepare the video and stuff for web streaming. So I guess when will we be ready to do mailings this week on the PSA?
I don't know. I mean, it might depend on how long it takes to get the copies made. Because we have everything together. We need the copies. Oh, and Jeff, they said that they had clamshells for them to go in for $0.25 a piece.
Get clamshells.
Yes.
All right.
So we'll need, but we need mailers too. But maybe I could just get those at a office supply place. And I don't know if the clamshells might be someplace cheaper too. I don't know.
That's a pretty good price.
25 cents a piece is pretty good.
Are clamshells just a different kind of case? That's
Yeah,
more
something,
secure?
I don't know.
It's not more secure, but there's less plastic in a clamshell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, clamshell is one of those circle cases.
Oh, okay.
It's shaped like a clam.
Okay. That's
I'll get
It'll
the
stand
mail.
up to more
I'll get the
brushes.
brushes.
Okay.
So forth
Yeah.
and this,
Okay.
these things always break. Slightly rough.
You can step on a clamshell and you won't crack any plastic, that kind of thing, because it's so
Really?
thin. Because it's plastic, it's plastic, it's plastic. Whereas this is hard. Plastic
Yeah,
that's
right.
suspended.
Yeah, okay. Oh, so it'll probably mail easier too then, more safely.
It'll be flatter. So, assuming the only holdup we're on right now is the copies.
Sure.
Mhm.
And who would you like me to get this to once I have the copies? And
Well, let's see. You want to get it to Matt? And then figure out, because I mean, it's not that many. It's, less than 25. But
Yes,
you know
it
what?
is.
We probably need more than just what we get for them, Jeff. We really need probably some that we can hand to people, but not a whole lot. But I bet we at least need an extra 10 that are kind of general DVDs.
Sure. I'll do it. Get an extra 10 general DVDs.
So you get somebody at the station to do it.
It's actually, it's a service that Gladys told me about in Springdale. I forget their name.
So how much will they charge you?
I've asked you.
Yeah, just wondering.
I asked them, and if we get like, I think there's some break-off point, it's like over 20 or 30, it's $1 cheaper, but it was like $4.50 for up to whatever,
Oh,
and then
fine.
$3.50
Okay.
over that, you
Fine.
know.
We're not talking about
Right.
huge amounts of money here.
Yeah.
What's your address, man?
326
Uh-huh.
North Ralston.
Oh, Ralston near Dixon Street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, big blue house on the corner of Ralston and Watson.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Would you please tell me your phone number one more time?
Sure. 479
Okay.
871
All right.
9212.
9200. All righty. I'll get it to you.
Okay. Cool. Finally. Month.
We've only been working on this since about last November.
It's quite an undertaking.
Yeah.
I remember
You
she
did it.
she
Great.
looked at me funny when I said, you know, I'd do it if I could bring my dog.
Yeah.
You know, because I have all the duck hunting stuff. And the guy on there is wearing a fluorescent jacket
Mhm.
that you wear deer hunting. You don't
Not
wear those
duck
duck
hunting.
hunting. I mean,
So all the
you
duck
have to
hunters are going to
camo-
recognize it's
camo
not
our
really a duck hunter.
credibility with the sports.
well, yeah, I mean, it's a hunting outfit, but yeah, you know. So I did email her a link to a guy who is he's got a huge website. He sells all these things for duck hunting and stuff. And he's yay hairy and all his crew. And that's part of disguising the blind, you know. If you have shiny face, you know. So they have to put black paint on like they're going to war or something now in modern times. And so I knew she didn't quite know duck hunting.
No, it's clear.
But that's, the message is good.
How many ducks in Hawaii? I don't think. She's from Hawaii. Okay, well, anything else on the PSA? It sounds like we've got a pretty good handle on what to do.
Who want these wonderful cookies? This would be gone if you don't take cookies.
Okay, well, we got a few things coming up in September and October to participate in. Before we get into the actual events, want to set up some guidelines for purchasing ads, because this has been something we've been talking about for a while, and some of us think that ads are really effective for communicating the message and bringing more people into the fold for climate change action, and others of us disagree, and they think earned media attention and stuff like that is a better use of our money.
What kinds of ads?
Oh, we were talking about doing ads, just a couple of column widths in the paper that would say, just raise awareness. So things like 350 parts per million is the planet's limit for carbon, and just very informational, not advertising anything in particular, just education. So.
That's something that people could connect to a group, like let's say OMNI or...
Yeah, at the in the footer or something
Yeah.
like that, but that's not the main message.
Right.
But ads are really expensive, so I think we need some guidelines so we can make decisions, because otherwise we're just going to keep disagreeing. And the only guideline that I really had an idea for would just be to make sure if we're going to buy an ad, we make sure that we can do something else with it besides just educate. You know, like we can buy an ad to get people to an event, but that might not be the point of the ad. Maybe the point of the ad is to talk about 350 parts per million, or talk about how many jobs there are in a particular policy that's coming up, or things like that. But we'd be able to say, come find out more about this at this event, or things like that.
That makes me think, and this is not an either or, either we do ads or this, but it makes me think that when you have an action that you're also saying something about, And that's a natural for a press release that also has informative information.
Right.
And that's free.
Right. Right. No, and this is kind of the dilemma. I don't think it's either or either, and we need to be press releasing everything. I feel like we've done an okay job of that.
Oh, great. Yeah, I've been reading the newspaper lately, so.
Well, we haven't press released anything lately, but our reception made it into the papers, and I think Springfest, the OMNI stuff was talked about in the papers by itself, and some other things. I'm all for purchasing ads. It's just I really want to make sure that we know that we're effectively using our money. And I disagree with Dick a little bit, and I wish he was here to talk about this, because I don't think buying just an ad is effective. Using an ad to get people to something or to get people involved, I think, is a good way to do things, but just to promote an idea, I don't think it's a good way, unless it's just something that's game-changing. You know, like, there's a reason people buy a full-page ad in the New York Times for one day. It's because everybody talks about it for the next 3 weeks or longer. You know?
But they spend a lot of money to do that, too.
Right. You know, and I don't think putting a 2-column ad in the Free Weekly is going to get people talking about it. You know, it might get people to an event, you know, or things like that, but nobody's going to be saying, yeah, did you see in the Free Weekly that climate change is real, you know, or things like that.
Very good point.
Well, could we make one of our guidelines that when we're considering advertising, thinking about free first?
You know, and
which would be like press releasing and
press releasing, or having an event to get in the paper, or things like that. And then also, and I think we should probably send this to the fundraising or committee or the strategic planning committee whenever it comes around, but I think we need to set a limit on what we're going to spend on advertising, a hard limit, because otherwise we're going to get to a point when we have so many potential actions, like we're going to have to make a decision. Are we going to buy an ad, or are we going to charter a bus? Things like that.
So there needs to be an ad budget.
Yeah, and that's going to be a budget.
So I guess maybe today we just need to, maybe we can just reach an agreement that we need to set these guidelines, and then get one of these committees to talk about it and make a recommendation for the next meeting.
Maybe to be reviewed after another certain amount of time, like 6 months.
Good point.
Yeah.
You know, certainly if you have actions advertised with these ads, then that gives you at least one way of checking to see where people saw about the action and finding out the clout, maybe a little something about the clout there, not necessarily anything.
Right.
I don't really think that if you just put information, you know, you just have an informative ad or whatever, that people are not going to be talking about that. But I just think when you have a small budget, you need to do the most with it. So, I mean, it makes more sense to just have an action connected with a fact, you know.
Right.
It does.
I think that's one of the main reasons we've been really, I think that is the reason that we haven't taken Dick's suggestion and purchased, 12 weeks of running ads in the Free Weekly and stuff like that.
I think it just depends on what media people pay attention to. You know, there's so much on cable television. There is probably a global warming show on at every moment on some channel. And CNN has this big thing every Sunday. The Weather Channel has a big thing. There's so many things on the internet. It's a drop in the bucket for us to just advertise global warming's real or anything like that, because there's just there are all these authorities doing that, and it's widespread. And so, but we have OMNI members and people everywhere we meet who only look are only involved with certain limited things, and that's what we talked about a few months ago, is hitting a niche where some people get information somehow. And
Well, you know, that brings another thought to my mind, though, that whatever we try to do should be varied, you know, because I know Dick watched the newspaper, and so to him that was a really important way to advertise, but I mean, I didn't never look at ads in the newspaper, so that was very hard for me to commit to, you know. And he never listens to the radio, and I never listen to that's the only thing I listen to, you know. So I think, you know, approaching a variety of different mediums, you know, would probably be another guideline that would probably be useful to see how we're hitting things. And you know, the other thing is that, I mean, I was totally unaware that internet advertising is something you can do, you know.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
But I mean, I bet a lot of people, that's where they would see it, you know?
Yeah.
oh yeah, and all I do is click those boxes off and they pop up. I mean, I don't look at advertising anywhere. You know, I'm trained, focused, not just to get information, but not from an ad. I mean, so.
Do you look at Google AdWords?
No.
Oh,
No,
no.
that's what I'm saying. There's,
Mhm.
well, I do check Circuit City's email to me about their sales because I buy a lot of photo cards and stuff. You know?
No, I mean whenever you do a Google search, you see ads come up that are related to what you searched for,
No,
and they're not graphical or anything.
I really don't. And so many things you look at a subject and you get a Google. What's the big bookstore?
Barnes and Noble.
You'll have a search takes you to bookstores and things like that. And
Yes.
I'm not going to buy a book on it. I want to find the free stuff online. So.
Okay, we'll refer that to the committee.
So that's, yeah, it's hard to hit all the possible ways. But obviously, internet advertising works because that's the way a lot of people do. Fine.
And I think we need to commit to having these guidelines hammered out by the next meeting, at least a draft of them, something that could be up for review. Because this has just been going on so long, and we need to make a decision: are we or are we not going to purchase these ads that Dick wants, and that kind of thing.
I think he's come to, I think he has, you know, he started out thinking we had to do that. I think over time he has come to see that there are different ways of thinking about this, and I think that he didn't care. I don't think he's going to care anymore. I think he would listen to any reasonable, you know,
So we
proposal.
needn't feel a sense of pressure
Right.
on his
Yeah, not on his part, yeah.
Do we need to come up with some numbers, like how many people you're actually reaching through these different mediums to talk to Dick, or?
We might have to hunt up a friend who knows enough about media that they would not have to spend days figuring that out. That would take me a long time to figure that out. Do you do that kind of stuff?
I would just play around on the internet and see what I could
Oh,
find.
okay, yeah, that's what I do.
Sure, you could find that kind of thing, but yeah, I mean, there's just a certain limit to human beings and the time that anybody has to do research on it. And
Yeah.
you do have to hit all the angles you can prove. So.
Anybody know a clairvoyant market analyst?
There you go.
Well, you know, when we asked Dave, her
That's asking
opinion
for
about
money.
it, David has worked at television for 30 years, so she was like, forget newspaper, do TV.
Right, sure.
Yes, it all kind of depends on what your
Perspective.
yeah.
Good God.
Okay, well let's go on to these other actions. I don't know that we're gonna have too much discussion about these, but Tuesday we're taking some vans down to the Global Warming Commission. Do we have any spaces left?
I think we have, Kelly was not entirely sure he could go, and Austin Lee was not entirely sure he could go. So their seats could be taken. If Kelly goes, he has another entire van.
Oh.
There probably are seats. There probably are seats. There's at least one seat. If Kelly can go, we need to find out from Kelly if he can go.
We do. We need to find that out right away.
You want me to call him?
Do you know his number? You want to call him?
Where's
now?
a phone? I'll give him a ring.
I'm going to get a cell phone one of these days. I'm waiting till I'm 85.
Is there a price break after that?
I hope so.
You just press the green button.
They just didn't plan it.
Oh,
After
wow,
phone.
great idea.
Oh, very good. I see what you mean. Thank you.
Can you just What you want to say? Wait,
Busy.
busy.
Oh, busy.
I can try again.
Okay. Well, what we're doing, this is the next to last meeting of the Global Warming Commission. This is the last chance we have to influence the language that they're going to write the policies with. And so, I think before we go, maybe it'd be good to talk with Cleaner Arkansas. We need to decide who's going to make comments, because you got 30 minutes for comments, and if you have 15 people, she's going to say 2 minutes, period. And if you got 10 people, you're going to have 3 minutes, you know. And
can you come to the meeting Wednesday night?
I can, but that's going to be after we go to Little Rock.
That's true. Okay. Well, okay. See, if we had one big old school bus, we'd go decide this on the school bus on the way down.
I'm surprised we don't. It's the OMNI Center.
I think that's all interesting.
Oh yeah?
Get me started again and I'll
You just spread the green one.
Alright.
Well, yeah, if anybody can go, they just need probably to get on the commission's website and see what's up there. I haven't been lately to see what that is.
There's a lot of stuff on there right now.
They just released economic analysis of each of the policies, so they've been able to quantitate and show which ones are profitable and which ones will probably not be. That hasn't included job creation.
I don't know why, but I probably pressed the wrong button. It looked like I pressed the green one.
Colin.
Thank you.
Okay, so how many would be an optimal number to actually speak and really get a chance to actually say something? How many people?
Hi, Donna, this is
You
Jeff.
should probably pick
Hey,
2 or 3
I'm at
people
the, I'm
from
at the
our group.
carbon caps meeting, and they were wanting to
And
know
the lower
whether
the
Kelly
numbers,
is
the better,
going to
because
go
there's
down
going to be
to
people from
lower
other organizations speaking too, like, can almost guarantee that Ken
You are.
Smith or
You're gonna be
Ron's
gone.
going to give a
Okay.
comment.
Tuesday morning. I'll give them the
plus
answer.
the other people, you
Okay.
know,
All right.
Little Rock.
Hey, yeah, safe travel if I don't see you first.
Okay.
All right. They're going to be leaving Tuesday morning and being out of town for about a week and a half or two. after
Never
they
mind
get off.
Kelly then. All right. Okay. So I'll say there's two seats.
You know, I wanted to ask earlier, I forgot, about Edward Hedgemonic. He's been an active member, but we didn't mention him in
We
this.
did not
Oh,
put him
no, we
on
didn't.
these lists. Yeah.
And is he going to Little Rock with you
I
all?
don't know.
Okay. He seems pretty committed.
He does. I haven't heard
Yeah.
from him
In
about it.
fact, he's one of the very committed people. isn't
Yeah,
he?
I'd like to ask him to be on direct action. Good, thank you. Okay, so we have 2 seats available, so if anybody here wants to go, now's the time. This will be a really good opportunity to see what Arkansas is trying to accomplish. And have we decided when we're going to leave yet?
Well, see, that's what the Quakers were bugging me about, because I had said noon, but they wanted to be in on more of a discussion. So they were lobbying for earlier in the morning than that. So I suggested 11 o'clock to them, but Susan and Maya were really interested in going earlier than 11 o'clock. So I don't know, what is your plan for getting down there?
Well, I'm riding, so whatever. I would like to be there all day long, you know. I get up at 5 in the morning to go.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to manage that far.
What time are the events down there? What
It goes from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock they'll have the public comment.
public comment period?
So we need to be there, and if we want to hear any of it at all, we need to be there.
And Monday night, actually, there is a public forum, a public hearing run by the commission at the Heifer headquarters. Yeah, so I'm not able to make that anyway, but... Okay, well, there are 2 seats. I'm going to ask some students if they're able to do it. So I've just been directing everyone to you.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, so I won't ask too many people so that if you get it filled up, you won't get bugged too much.
Okay. I think that if more than 2 people come, we can get Susan to drive her Prius.
Oh, okay.
So, I think, and there's probably room for 3 more in there. Her and
Okay.
3 other people in there. So don't limit it too closely to 2.
Okay. Okay. And
Where exactly is the
It's gonna be at the
family?
Capitol.
Okay. Maybe I can get Michelle to go.
Hey!
There you go.
I'm
Start her off with a road trip.
I would love to be there.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a number of people. I couldn't get Ken Smith to say how many people they had, but there's a number of Bullwright people who are going, so there will be public there.
mhm.
Nobody's actually said where at the Capitol it is.
It's in room 117. You go in, you just ask the guard.
Okay, okay.
You can't. If you go in one entrance, you'll never go the same way to the room.
You'll never come out of
You get lost in the cafeteria is in the basement, so if you go down there, you're hopeless. Okay, so we'll try to find a few more people for that. On September 12th, next Friday, we have a book forum. It's at Nightbird Books. Several Carbon Caps members will be panelists. This is a little different from all these other book forums. It's not just on one book. It's on a selection of books about climate change.
And what time is it set?
Oh, I don't remember.
7.
That's Friday, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it a discussion that includes the audience pretty much?
I think the second half will,
Good.
with no clear line separating it.
I don't know. I don't think I've been to one of those.
I haven't either.
I have a sort of distaste for going to events where the expert talks and there's
I
no
have
period of
6:30.
input for the audience, so that's why I asked.
I think the format is we'll each describe briefly the book that we're there to talk about, and then we'll take questions.
Good.
So, yeah, that's at 6:30, and Nightbird Books is down on 6th Street in College.
I'll go to that.
No, 6th Street to school.
Oh yes, excuse me.
I know.
The Friday after that, September 19th, this is something OMNI could participate in. Several